What's going on, my friends? Welcome to episode 162 of the Gang Podcast. Today we bring you everything New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, national, international sports. Hosted by usually Grassani, I'm Joyce Tyler, Lady Cunningham, Alex Rich, Sam Morell, and our special guest, Trey, Matthews. The show on various platforms, including but not limited to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, YouTube, and you can follow social media at GayGamP. With all that said, it's time to get your game on.
Adam, now that's how you do an introduction, baby. You weren't stale today. You didn't make me fall asleep. Good job, buddy.
I had to bring the show. You want to know why?
Why?
Because we have a very, very special guest joining us today. I've been ever since well, not hockey, but the Devils season. I've been looking forward to having this guy on. Does a lot of great work on the Locked On Devils podcast. Also is a writer for Pucks and Pitchforks, and does a lot of great work at Cronkite School. Am I correct?
That is correct. Cronkite School. All right,
but we are so happy to be welcome to the show, Trey Matthews. Trey, welcome to the show. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, guys. Thanks for having me on. I'm glad that you picked me to be one of your guest stars to recap the New Jersey Devils. I don't know how often you talk about hockey, but I'm your guy.
I like to talk about it. These two of our guys here don't.
Hockey's growing. I'll just say that.
Hockey for me is really just okay. No,
I'm gonna explain it. Let me go first.
Let me explain to say just before. Mute myself.
I'm curious to hear your thoughts, Michael.
We'll let you two go. Michael, Sam, you two can go first. Then we'll talk Devils, Trey.
I'm just gonna say this. For me, hockey, I don't know, but for me, it's literally just, and I know you can do this for us, but for me, it's just like stick, puck, shoot puck, towards hole, ice. Because and for me, it's like unlike other things where it's like, yeah, you can do that about basketball. It's like shoot, ball, dribble. It's like, oh, but like there's multiple dribbling moves and this and that. But it's like, I don't know. It's just for me, it's like boring.
Here's why I don't like hockey. White people, black puck, want to hit that black puck. And if it was a black person, it would have been a black man. They try to tag. That's why I don't like hockey. And two, I can't skate to save my life. I used to, but I can't skate. Why play a sport if I can't skate? Unless it's roller skating. If it's roller hockey, cool. Ice hockey, boring. 3, I'm from the hood. You know, we don't like hockey from the hood. We were not into it. You know what I'm saying? And 4, Adam talks about hockey 365 days a year. And it drives me crazy, and it turned me off with it. And 5, hockey, I got sexy teeth. I don't want these pearly whites to get messed up.
You know, there's a thing called dentists, but to go off of what both of you just said, okay, so A, you think it's boring. Okay, that's subjective. I don't know how I could change your opinion, but the best pitch I could say is that for hockey, it's physicality, it's unpredictability, and you know, it like I said, just the tenacity of the game, how it's played, the pressure, especially in playoff hockey, because we literally saw a game go into quadruple overtime.
Yeah.
Just against who was it? It was
Florida and Carolina.
Yeah, so they went into quadruple overtime, and you don't really get that too often. And whereas in a sport like basketball or football, you already know who the winner is going to be most likely. You don't see that many upsets. This year in the NBA playoffs is a little bit of an exception, but still, like when the Golden State Warriors were very dominant, you knew they were going to win when they had KD. You just knew they were going to win. There was no chance of an upset. Whereas for hockey, it's like there's more rooms for upsets. It's intense. It's fast-paced. It's a meticulous game that not everyone can play. And come to think of it. The
best team that set the best like regular season team at NHLSC lost in the first round.
They blew a 3-1 lead, similar to the 2016 Golden State. So look, I don't know if I could change your opinions about hockey, but for me, one of the reasons why I got into it was just because of how unpredictable it was, the physicality, and you know, it's not easy to do. You got to be able to skate and be able to get hit. And Plus, you can see a fight here and there. Hockey's like the only sport where two guys can fight, and after the game, they're grabbing drinks and beer afterwards.
Exactly.
Hold on, let me explain. Adam, tell your friend, our very good guest Trey, about you said that the Boston Brewers 3-1 lead was worse than
we just saying
Boston
Trey,
Bruins. No, you gotta tell him.
I'm gonna tell him. Just saying, Trey, we do a hot take segment, and my hot take recently was that the Bruins 3-1 collapse was worse than the 2016 Warriors, and Michael and Sam disagreed.
I mean, here's the thing.
It was terrible.
Well, here, look, I think you're just saying it's terrible because you don't know much. With all due respect, I don't think you know much about hockey, but here's the narrative going into it. So the Golden State Warriors blew a 3-1 lead in the NBA Finals, whereas for the Boston Bruins, they blew a 3-1 lead to a wild card team in the first round.
Yeah.
So the stakes were a little different, yes, but I'd say for the Golden State Warriors, it was more crushing just because of what it meant. It was in the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
But for the Boston Bruins, it was more of a, how would I say it? Just shocking. The fact that this team was so dominant in the regular season. They broke the all-time record for most points and most wins in a single NHL season. And yet here they are. They blew a 3-1 lead to a wild card team that is now continuing to play in the conference finals.
Exactly. All right, Trey. So you're ready to talk some New Jersey Devils here?
Yep.
So yeah.
Sam, where you at? See, you made Sam fall asleep, Adam. Shame.
All right. So, but obviously, it's been like a week now since Game 5 against Carolina, I think.
About a week or two, yeah.
Yeah. So now obviously you were around the team. You were around the team. You got to cover some games this season. So now, I want to start off, Trey. Now you've had about a week or so to digest. How do you look back on this 2022-2023 season for the Devils? Like, obviously, it was still it was a disappointing ending. Losing the Hurricanes, but at the same time, first playoff series win since 2012 for this team. They finished third in the NHL. They set the franchise wins and points record. And they just there's a season where no people thought this team would be lucky to make it to a wild card. Here they finished third in the NHL. So obviously it was a disappointing to what was otherwise a fantastic season for those. So I want to ask you about that, Trey. Now you've had about a week so to digest. What are your overall thoughts on the season?
So like you said, it was a big success because they broke their franchise record with 52 wins. They earned their first playoff series, their first victorious playoff series since 2012. And this was their first playoff appearance since 2018, in which they lost in 5 games to the Tampa Bay Lightning. And we saw a big surgence in Jack Hughes, Nico Hischier, Jesper Bratt. Then at the trade deadline, they became buyers. They were able to get Timo Meier, who's a big power forward, who's able to stand in front of the net, get those redirects. He's able to assert himself. And I think having spoken to a lot of the players, one of their favorite moments during the course of the year was beating the Rangers in 7 in round 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs, because that's their arch rival. They were down 2-0. They had to erase that 2-0 lead. That was the first time that they came back from a 2-0 deficit and won the series since 1994.
Yeah.
So this season for Devils, it was just the storybook of breaking a lot of franchise records and also personal records, NHL records, because they had the biggest points turnaround in NHL history with plus 49. So going from being a lottery team last year, getting the second overall pick in the NHL draft, to now actually building something towards the future. And quite honestly, I know a lot of people like to clown on the New Jersey Devils. I saw a few tweets saying that Devils fans act like this is some sort of dynasty or whatever the case might be. I'm not going to say it's a dynasty, but it's certainly heading into that right direction, because you have your foundation pieces. You got Jack Hughes, who's your franchise piece. Your captain, Nico Hischier, he's a great leader, and I could see why they pegged him to be the captain of the New Jersey Devils. And then you got Jesper Bratt. Hopefully he's able to come back. Same with Timo Meier. Dougie Hamilton is locked up long-term. You got glue pieces like Eric Haula onto your roster. You have some solid goaltending options in Akira Schmid, who was able to show out during the playoffs, and also Vitek Vanecek, who had a great regular season. So I think the foundation is set in stone for Devils for the time being, and they are building something toward the future. And I got to give credit where credit is rightfully deserved, because I talk a lot about these star players, but I think another factor that really helped the Devils this year was their depth, because you had the BMW line in Bastian, Wood, and McLeod. They were able to put up some big minutes, and then you get some of your young prospects in Luke Hughes. He got it going, especially during the playoffs. So I think for the Devils this year, it was just a matter of getting all those right depth pieces, those right locker room leaders, and just whipping those young guys into shape, because we saw Jack Hughes. He had 99 points. He broke the franchise record for most points in a single season. Dougie Hamilton was able to tie the franchise record for most goals by a defenseman in a single season. And once again, I think it just goes, they just go up and down the board of just good young pieces that they could build for the future. They have some good veteran leadership in the locker room. They have some good depth. They have some good prospects. And I think the Devils, quite honestly, they still have a move in them to try to maybe make a splash during the course of the offseason, because having spoken to Tom Fitzgerald, the general manager, he's willing to maybe get a first-round draft pick in this year's NHL draft to maybe help the Devils in that sort of aspect. So we never know what could happen, but this season, just the foundation is there for the Devils.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, like you said, all the records, these franchise records, that biggest turnaround in HLC, like being the race, it's all great. But the one big thing that you really saw from this season, the one big takeaway, was the development of all the young stars. Obviously Jack Hughes will I'm sure this is not the first time, this is not the last time we talk about this episode. Just what more you can say about Aaron Judge, 99 points in the regular season. He's just really emerging as like a superstar in this league. Like I said, Nico Hischier, like you said, about him being like the captain. He's like Jack may be the superstar offensive forward, but Nico's really, I would argue, just almost, if not just as more important to the team, due to the way he plays defense. He's up for the Elk Trophy. And like I said, he's the captain. He does all things. He kills penalties. He kills penalties. He can produce on a power play. And he can score the rest. So, and then like you mentioned, just for Brett, playoffs aside, he had a really good year as well. So that was another big takeaway, is that you saw the development of these young players. Dawson Mercer, like, look at the season he had. I think the future's very bright for him. Akira Schmid, who comes out of nowhere, put him in the game three. A lot of people were like, "Who's this guy?" He goes out on him and arguably was the biggest reason they won the series.
I just want to say, Akira Schmid wasn't out of nowhere. Maybe out of nowhere.
I mean, out of nowhere, maybe the wrong word, but I don't know what made it be the wrong word. I lost him during it's really good, but
yeah, like Devils fans, we knew how good he was.
Yeah.
And we were arguing for a long time who should be the backup goalie, Mackenzie Blackwood or Akira Schmid. But I think that's where like the NHL world and the fans in general got a really good look at what Akira Schmid can potentially do for this Devils organization.
Yeah. That's what I meant. But like I said, the computer development of all these young players.
Right. So it's just like you said, there's a lot of great players added to the roster. Nico Hischier, he's sort of the anchor for our forwards, and I can see why he's the captain. Having spoken to Nico Hischier, he's just so intelligent. He's so even keeled. He is what this Devils organization definitely needs, and he's one of the reasons why Dawson Mercer and Tomas Tatar were able to have big years on his line, because Nico Hischier is the one who's setting them up. And like you said, Jack Hughes is the best player for the Devils. There's really no debate in that regard. But Nico Hischier, he is like the Swiss Army knife. And I know I use that same adjective to describe Eric Haula, but I guess Nico Hischier is just a better version of it, because like you said, he could play offense, he could play defense, he's on special teams, he's leading the he's leading the way for this Devils organization, and he's still really young. I know coming into this season, he had already appeared in 300 NHL games. People were writing him off, saying he's no longer going to be a superstar and he could be a solid piece onto a roster. But Nico Hischier was able to prove that he has a lot left to prove, and he is nowhere near to reaching his full potential. And I said injuries and COVID kind of played a factor in all that. So I say Nico Hischier, he is definitely the anchor for this Devils team, and he is what they needed on the offensive side of things, the defensive side of things, and in the locker room as well. And those veterans are they are very aware that Nico Hischier, this is his team. So even though they also know how to have a voice in the locker room, they know how to lead, they sort of try to help guide Nico because he is such a young captain.
Yeah, exactly. Alex, did you have a question?
So my question is, I know the NHL draft is coming up, and I wanted your take on like the prospects and how the Devils will carry themselves into selecting who they want.
Well, the draft this year for Devils is going to be a little bit different because they use their first round draft pick to trade for Timo Meier, so they don't have a first round draft pick in this year's NHL draft. However, they are open to maybe trading for one. So Gerald literally said that in his exit interview when the media, us, were speaking to him, he said he is open to maybe getting a first round draft pick. But for the time being, the draft is a little different for the Devils just because they are now trying to contend for something. They're probably going to use their draft picks for trade collateral. And then and obviously teams are really raving over maybe getting Connor Bedard, who is the consensus first overall pick. I hear he's really good. So to be honest with you, Alexander, I haven't really been paying that close attention to the draft is because the Devils, they're just not really going to be that much of a factor in the draft. However, I wouldn't underestimate or I wouldn't write them off for potentially getting a diamond in the rough later on in the draft because they did it with Jesper Bratt. They did it with Yegor Sharangovich. There's a lot of diamonds in the rough, but the draft this year for the Devils is a lot different compared to years prior.
It's like years prior. It's like the biggest thing. Like
just last year.
They were looking. It was like, okay, Devils fans looking for a NHL draft. Like we're also going to draft. Now it's like, I mean, I'm sure Devils fans will be interested, but it's like it's not. You're not as focused as you normally are.
No. It's just like, it's just sort of like, could they trade away that first round draft pick to get Timo Meier? That was the more of the talk of the town versus what are they going to do come the draft. So but last year they were able to get Shimon Nemets. The year prior they got Luke Hughes. So there was definitely a lot of excitement during the draft around this time. But for right now, it's just like when the draft lottery was going on, the Devils were still in the playoffs. So I'm just like, I'm not even paying attention to that. I'm paying attention to what they're doing right now. But for the time being, that's my overall take on the draft.
Okay, Michael, go ahead.
And the black man can finally talk. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Because Alex Alex had to ask a stupid question. I'm joking. Trey, what got you in did you play hockey? I have a 3-part question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you play hockey growing up?
Nope.
B, I was going to let you answer it all together since okay. Who was your favorite Devils player of all time? 2, what made you like watching hockey? And 3, who do you think is the best free agent that the Devils can get?
I think
that's 4 questions.
Nah, because he kind of answered the first one.
He's pulling a Phil from Hercules.
No, I'm pulling a Klay Thompson. I got 4 rings. Okay,
Michael, you ain't coming back from that one, buddy. But go ahead, Trey.
Okay. Well, no, I did not grow up playing hockey. 2, who's my favorite Devils player of all time? I would have to say Scott Stevens because that guy played the game with an iron fist. You came into his defensive area, you're going to get your head knocked off because that's how hard he played the game. In fact, some of the rules had to be adjusted because of some of the quote unquote dirty hits he did. But the defense I had for Scott Stevens was that it wasn't in the rule book at the time. So technically there's no rule to break. Break them before they become rules. That's it. There's a life advice for you.
He was Jacob Trouba on steroids.
Jacob Trouba, good example, because he hit Timo Meyer because look, I can't be I complain. I'll get back to your question in a second, Michael, but basically it's just like Jacob Trouba coming down the lane, knocks down Timo Meyer, and Meyer gets his nose injured, and I'm just like, that's a dirty hit. But then I'm like, I'm a Scott Stevens fan, so
exactly. But then you saw them in the handshake line. They had a nice moment. So that's why hockey's such an awesome sport. It's like you can go literally from like cursing like the opponent out and playing so physical on the ice to 10 minutes later you're shaking their heads and being all like I don't want to say like a lovey-dovey, but you get what I mean.
No, it's like I was telling you earlier, Michael. It's just like hockey is one of those sports where you can fight someone, and then after you're going out for drinks. But now, to answer your third question, what got me into hockey? I went to a hockey game while I was in college, and I was just mesmerized. I was hooked with the game instantly, just how it was being played, the unpredictability, the physicality, the speed of the game. And I was just like, this is something I definitely want to get involved in. This is something I want to invest myself in.
College, you figured this out? In college?
In college.
How old are you now?
I am 23.
So you've been watching college hockey for how
long? 5 years, maybe, something like that.
I was about to say, since you named Scott Stevens, I was about to say, did you like hockey growing up or?
Well, it's just like, you can watch like old like videos or something like that. You can watch like, you can watch like some of those games on replay, that kind of thing. And I think Scott Stevens is just like my favorite Devil of all time. He's a guy who I'll defend. He's a guy who's not really well liked throughout the hockey discourse, but I personally loved how he played the game. And so you don't have to like an old timey player and having played it or that kind of thing. It's like you're a Lakers fan, like you told me like before the recording. You could say you liked Magic Johnson, but did you watch Magic Johnson growing up, kind of thing?
The reason why I say I'm a big Kobe fan because I watched the brother play.
And that's
Adam,
fair.
I like this guy, Adam. He's the only only guest that go toe to toe with me. I like it.
And
my fourth question was,
free agency.
Free agency. Who are you guys want to land? That's the big prospect.
Well, the problem with the Devils in free agency is that they kind of already have two players that they need to focus on before they even try to pursue anyone in free agency. And quite honestly, they're not going to get anyone big in free agency. So their main priority is Timo Meyer and Jesper Bratt because both of them are restricted free agents. So you got to sign them long-term. Eric Haula, he's rumored that, in fact, no, he admitted that he wants to come back to the organization. So you got to focus on him as well. So the money situation for the Devils is going to be a little bit different compared to years prior because Jack Hughes is signed long-term, Nico Hischier is signed long-term, Andre Palat is signed long-term, Dougie Hamilton is signed long-term, Jonas Siegenthaler is signed long-term. Now you got to sign two other players long-term. You got to sign Eric Haula to a couple-year extension. You got a few other players that might be entering unrestricted free agency like Ryan Graves, Damon Severson, Miles Wood. But at the end of the day, it's just like you have those young guys that you could develop as well because the Devils are in an interesting spot because I presume that Ryan Graves and Damon Severson are going to leave the organization. But what are they going to do? They're going to look at like Luke Hughes and Shimon Nemeth in their pipeline to develop them. And then maybe Tomas Tatar or Miles Wood leaves, then you can bring up Alexander Holtz to give him a chance because that's one of the things I felt like he just wasn't given a chance. I didn't even mention Kevin Ball. Kevin Ball had a phenomenal run late in the year. So the thing for the Devils is just like this is uncharted territory for them because they do have the money, but they're going to be using the money elsewhere. If I had to guess, I think they're going to like look at maybe some other goalie options. I heard that Hellebuck is an option for them, but they're going to have to trade for him. Or maybe like William Nylander if the Toronto Maple Leafs decide to blow everything up, or maybe given how the Coyotes organization is going, maybe look at Clayton Keller, because Clayton Keller might be a few inches short of requesting for a trade. So to answer your question, Michael, that's how the offseason is going to go for the Devils. And quite honestly, looking at Timo Meier and Jesper Bratt, that's going to take up a huge chunk of their summer.
Yeah.
So for
one more question. I just figure out something.
All right, last one.
Boy, last question. Shut up. You took over a question. This is the black man's time. 2. This bozo over here named Adam Grassani said that Jack Hughes will be the best player in the NHL. Do you think that's true?
Not in the NHL. I know Connor McDavid's the best. Duh.
You said it, Alex. Right? You said that.
Specifically, Mike's voice specifically Trey is that he would be the best hockey player in the tri-state area.
No, he said the league. Alex, right? He said the league.
I kind of, to be honest, I forget what he said.
Sam, where you at? Sam, where you at?
Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make my own statement, and it'll lean either towards your claim, Michael, or it's gonna lean towards Adam. But here's my thing: Connor McDavid, he is definitely a huge obstacle in the way for Jack Hughes.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, I think a few years down the line, I don't know how much longer Connor McDavid has, but I don't know how long he can keep up this this great run that he's been having the last few years. He's still relatively young, so who knows where his career is going to go. But in terms of Jack Hughes being the best player in the NHL, I think he could be one of, but I don't think he could be the best player.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you got that two-headed monster, like I said, in Edmonton, and Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. But I don't think Jack Hughes is far off, especially since he finished the campaign with 99 points. And had he played in all 82 games, and had he not gone on like a little bit of a cold streak, he would have eclipsed 100. And no Devils player in franchise history has ever eclipsed over 100 points. So do I think Jack Hughes could surpass Connor McDavid? No. But at the same time, he could be like one of the best players, maybe not the best player. To give you some NBA terminology, let's see, who's a great young player that has a lot of potential?
LaMelo Ball.
Huh?
LaMelo Ball.
Give me I got a better one. Luka Doncic.
Luka Doncic, yeah.
Yeah, Luka Doncic. Will he ever be the best player in the NBA? Probably not, but he is certainly one of them. Well, you got to factor in LeBron. He
won't be the best player.
LeBron, Giannis, KD. Unfortunately,
KD, you can't win. You can't trust KD. KD's on the downfall of his career. Giannis is the best player in the 2020s. Let's be real. But I said,
right there, right, like what I said. Just like I said. Yeah, he's got to like. There's players in his way. You just said he's the best player in the 2020s, right? Okay, so Mike, I mean, Luka can't pass him because we're in the 2020s right now. Okay,
Mike,
I said that. What's up,
Mike? I'm sorry.
Right there. Got you right there.
Yeah, because Mike, I'm sorry. Luka will never be the best player in the league, especially when there's people like Joel Embiid, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Nikola Jokic.
Bro, did you agree with me about my hot take about the 2030s?
We'll get that.
I know. I never. Bro, I wasn't there when you did that.
You mute their mics for a second because I'm still talking about hockey.
All right, go on.
Okay, going back to my point. I think Jack Hughes could be one of the best players in the NHL. I don't think he can be the best player just because of Connor McDavid, his age, and what he's been able to do. But Jack Hughes is not too far off. And quite honestly, come next year, even though he's not focused on it, having talked to him, I think he definitely can win the Hart Trophy at some point in the future. I'd say next year is a very real chance because people are going to have more eyes on the Devils. People are going to be talking about them more during the offseason, and more eyes are going to be focused on Jack Hughes.
Yeah. All right, now I think now's the time because I did want to talk with a little bit about Jack Hughes this season. Yeah, and the ones I've put all the points aside and put all obviously 99 points. So like how many points I have left? Like that's well and good. The thing that really really amazes me about Jack Hughes is that he is someone that the Devils they've had amazing players in their history. Marty Brodeur, Scott Stevens. Scott Nira, Patrick Elias. They've had great players. They're Hall of Fame level players. They've never had an offensive player or a player that has box office as Jack Hughes is. Like you just saw like his jersey sales. It's like he was like fourth in the league.
No, I couldn't tell you that, but I'm sure it's tops up there.
Yeah. I think we're working. I was like,
let's be honest. I think, and he definitely has a big fan base amongst a lot of girls, fangirl.
I remember because I know that NHL like I think more so than those sports. No, NHL is very popular. Like amongst girls, and I remember the moment I saw a draft Jack Hughes like it's 18. And you're looking at him like, yeah, the girls are gonna eat this guy up.
Can't really speak on that in detail, but Jack Hughes Jack Hughes definitely has a big fan base, and he's very popular amongst both men and women.
It's like, but even more than that, it's just that you just look at his demeanor, the type of swagger that he has, and the biggest example is like games like 3 and 4 against the Rangers, we have like you saw Ranger fans, booing him every time he touched the puck. What happens? He scores on ours in both those games. Like he's got that demeanor. He's got that swagger. In NBA terms, like technically a Trey Young mentality, and even more so. I know and even more so. Trey is that I remember was it Game 5, where it came out that that he was hurt, like Lindy Ruff didn't think he was gonna play that game, and then he still played. So I mean, yeah, you could rave about like the stats all you want, just that's what just amazed me so much. This kid, like he's just a gamer. He's just he's a warrior. He's got swagger, and if you're a Devils fan, like you should be grateful that you have this guy for at least like the next 7 years. Like I'll go to war with this kid any day.
Absolutely, Jack Hughes is a great player. He's a great foundation piece to have. He's definitely what drives our organization. Nico Hischier is the captain, but Jack Hughes is obviously the one who generates the most points off his stick. And yeah, like you said, Jack Hughes is just a great player to have on this roster, and I expect big things from him. I think he's only begun to scratch the surface. And quite honestly, given how his career is going, I don't think he's too far off, but I think he'll become the greatest skater to ever play in the Devils organization.
I said the same thing. Like I don't think he'll catch Marty, because Marty's just arguably the greatest goaltender of all time. But
he is.
Exactly. But aside from Marty, I don't think there's anyone that he can't catch.
Right. And
on a side note, you were at the exit interviews, right?
That's correct.
I like the hat he was wearing.
The New York Yankees hat. Quite honestly, he and Mackenzie Blackwood, both of them wore New York Yankees hats. Yeah. I think his brother Luke also wore one. Quite honestly,
yeah,
I'd have to do some sleuthing, but I'm surprised that no one gave him really much slack for that, because Yankees kind of thing, New York, but I guess no one really paid attention to it.
Yeah. Cause I believe he said before that like he did grew up a Yankee fan, so
I've seen him wear a Yankees jersey before when he was younger. So probably
it's just something that us Yankee fans can enjoy. But did anyone else have a question for Trey?
No. I'll take that long sullen silence as a no.
Okay. But all right, Trey, I got 2 more questions here before we let you go here, Trey. One more is last way. It's kind of building off of what you said before about the offseason. Is that obviously this is an amazing year for the Devils. Amazing season. I said before, I've had. It's like the most fun I've ever had watching like a sports team of mine that didn't win the championship. It was an amazing year. But now going to next season, the question is, how do they build off this season? How do they take the next step working towards, eventually, bringing, the Stanley Cup, back to back to New Jersey. Like you said, re-signing Timo Meyer, that's a big thing, figure out the Justin Brass situation, hopefully bring him back, that's a big thing, like the goaltender, do they roll the do they run it back with a Kirschman and Vic Vanacek, or they maybe go for a Hellbuck or something like that? And obviously the rest of the free agents, like what do they do with Tatar, Graves, Severson, like all these guys. Obviously Eric Hall looks like he's coming back. So, and honestly, like for the computer delve of all these like young players, and maybe calling up some other guys, some was obviously a low prospect pool. So I'm gonna hand that to you, Trey. Like I said, for how does this still seem like not only in the next season, like in the off season and going to next season, how do they take the next step towards eventually, winning, bringing the Stanley Cup back to New Jersey?
Just getting more experience, I think, is first and foremost. Now that they dipped their toe into the lake of contending in the playoffs, I think they're going to have more experience. They're going to be more prepared, and you bring back Lindy Ruff. Lindy Ruff will be back behind the coach according to Tom Fitzgerald, so that's definitely a good first step. Getting your core pieces in Timo Meyer and also Jesper Bratt re-signed, that's going to help. I know Timo Meyer is still relatively new to the team, but still he was an important asset to pick up from the San Jose Sharks. That is definitely going to be big for them, but in terms of the goaltending situation, that's going to be the talk of the town once again, because it's just like, do you roll with Akira or do you roll with Vitek? Because Akira, big performance in the playoffs, but you can't overlook what Vitek did during the regular season, in which he was able to become the first Devils goalie since Martin Brodeur to eclipse 30 wins. So it's just that, but he didn't have a good showing in the playoffs, and maybe that's what Washington Capitals fans remember him for, which is good regular season performance, but crash and burn come playoff time. But I think in order for the Devils to take their game to the next level, they're going to need some more physicality. That's definitely going to be the name of the game. So look for those sandpaper type of players in free agency or via trade. I know some Devils fans are big on Tom Wilson. That could definitely be a decent ad for them. And keep your options open for goaltending, because Mackenzie Blackwood, most likely he won't be coming back to the team. And yeah, just looking up and down their lineup, I think they have the young assets, they have the depth, and I think now they have the experience to take their organization to the next level. And I don't think this is going to be the last that we see or hear from them. And this was a great success, for them. And I'm expecting a lot of positive movements of going forward come next year.
This is like, for example, this isn't like a 2018 situation where they make the playoffs, then they flame out and for the next 4 years. Like this feels sustainable,
right? So they relied mainly on Taylor Hall during their 2018 run, and then they got desperate. They tried trading for PK Subban, I believe, like a year or two after that. That didn't work. They were trying everything they could to stay relevant, stay in the playoffs. Just wasn't meant to be. But now it's just like, once again, these pieces, they're young. They know how to lead a team. Having spoken with Amanda Stein, the team reporter, who's been with the organization,
does a great job.
She does an excellent job, and she's also great. She's also a great person to interact with during the course of the game, post game, pre game, whatever the case might be. And she's been a big help. But going back to what I was saying, Amanda, when she appeared on my show, she said, like, look at the Taylor Hall led team, and now look at the Jack Hughes or Nico Hischier led team, and you just see the difference a little bit, which is these players are younger. They're going to be here a lot longer than Taylor Hall was, because the reality of it is that Jack Hughes is signed long-term. Nico Hischier is signed long-term. Jesper Bratt signed long-term. So the core pieces are there for the Devils this time around, and they're going to continue to add. And once again, this team is way different than the team in 2018 because they're not so top-heavy. And once again, depth is going to be essential.
Exactly. Like you said before, like one guy that I was interested in, maybe those would be interested, like you said, they need like that more like physicality. One like Ross Caldwell from Tampa Lightning, like I think would be an interesting option.
Depends on the contract situation, and it depends on like how would you?
No. Siri, stop.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me for some reason. I was like, wait, what?
It's like sorry about that. It's like I was asking you a question, then Siri's like, sorry, I didn't get that. I'm like trying to turn her off. So, but continue, Trey.
So, like I said, I think they could definitely the options are going to be open for them, but you just got to see like the contract situations. You got to see who can you theoretically give up because you don't want to gut your organization.
Exactly.
So it's just like, and don't be afraid to take those low risk but high reward kind of players. Someone like Curtis Lazar. Curtis Lazar didn't get a chance to prove himself because when we first got him, he had some issues with his visa. His wife was also pregnant at the time.
Yeah.
And he was close to giving birth. So it was definitely a hard time for Curtis Lazar. And he described his first experience as a Devil, kind of frustrating, but in a good circumstance. But I think for the Devils, it's just like they're definitely going to they're definitely going to have a bright future. And it's just like so for look for those low end, high reward kind of players. Look at Eric Holla, look at Tomas Tatar.
Exactly.
And look at a few other players up and down your roster.
Yeah, and that's why, as intriguing as maybe bring a William Nylander or maybe like bring a Connor Hellebuyck would be, like while those like players would be, well, I definitely think it would be interesting usually those uniforms. Part of the big part of me, Trey, is that I don't want them to gut their farm system and like abandon really like the focus on player development that got them to where they are in the first place, because you saw the way they developed like all these young players. It's like that's something that I really don't want them, at the very least, not yet. I don't want them to like steer away from that.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting. They definitely have a lot of young players that could be intriguing to some teams. They still got Holtz, they got Foots, they got Gritsiuk, they got Seamus Casey, Chase Stillman, Nico Dawes, and those are just a few of the prospects that are still in their farm system. Obviously you traded away Nikita Holtuk and Fabian Zetterlund for Timo Meyer, but like I said, there's still a few other players in their farm system that they could use as either developmental pieces, collateral for trade. So I'd say for Alexander Holtz, you don't trade him in the offseason. You trade him around the trade deadline, see if teams can be interested in him, because Alexander Holtz puts up big numbers in Utica in the AHL system for Devils. But come the NHL, he doesn't really perform all that well because he is skating is his big issue. But
like
I said, I'm sure there's
which
someone
is an issue, which is an issue with the Devils because they focus so much on speed.
Right.
Like that,
and so it's like he has concrete blocks on his skates, and that's not good for a high speed team like the Devils. But like I said, maybe there's a team that can fit Alexander Holtz just a little bit better. But like I said, there's a lot of prospects that the Devils can definitely utilize in terms of developing or using as trade. You got Kevin Ball, you got Luke Hughes, you got Shimon the Mets. You got a lot of young players that definitely have a lot of upside.
Yeah. So okay. So here's my final one, Trey. And obviously, I wanted to ask you about your experience, covering the team, and all the work you do, like for those and just hockey in general. Like I believe you were also correct me if I'm wrong, you're the second African American to announce a Canadian League hockey game this year.
That is correct.
Yeah, congratulations on that, by the way. So I wanted to ask you about your experience, being a reporter, covering this you're covering this team all year, So yeah, what's been the experience like for you, like covering the Devils this season?
It's been hardworking. It's definitely been it. I love the end result. That's the kind of thing, and when you have a passion for something, you're gonna be willing to go. You're willing to take it to the next level, kind of thing, and. Whether it's me doing play-by-play, whether it's me podcasting, whether it's me writing, whatever the case might be, it's like I'm just building my resume for the future. And I don't know what the future holds, but I'm excited for it. And the thing is like I never get a break from hockey because there's always going to be something to do. Like if I'm not doing play-by-play, doing my podcasting. If I'm not doing my podcasting, I'm doing my writing. Or if I'm not doing all three, I'm appearing on the show like this. But
the grind never stops, huh?
Never stops. And obviously you got development camp that's gonna happen in July. You got free agency, you got trades, and it's just like the show. You would think the offseason content would slow down, well, because obviously it's the off season, but no, you still got a lot of storylines, news reports to go over. But at the end of the day, it's frustrating. Sometimes there's times when I just don't want to record an episode. There's times where I just don't want to do play-by-play for a game, wherever the case might be. But I want to tell people, like, if you're truly passionate about it, if you truly enjoy it, you're willing to go the extra mile
Exactly.
and get the end result. Now, obviously, it has its perks. Like, I've been able to be credentialed and go to the Prudential Center, talk to the players post game, go to exit interviews, be on Zoom calls after a big trade, whatever the case might be. It's a lot of fun, and that's great and all, but you don't see what the work I had to put in behind the scenes to get to that point. Because
exactly.
I was recording episodes in my basement when I first started at Locked On. So yeah, it's just like, it's great and all, and there's a lot of good perks for it, but you got to work to get those perks.
Exactly. So yeah, this guys. Any final questions for Trey Matthews? Go
No,
once.
I don't.
All right, Sand, you want to get a question in?
I think Sam fell asleep, Adam.
Yeah,
No, I'm still here. What's it called? No, I don't.
Okay, yeah, but yeah, Trey, we thank you so much for coming on. It's been great, us talk about, not just to talk about the Devils season recaps, but also talk about, your experiences as well, being around the team so much. So it's been a really great pleasure to have you on. So yeah, we're gonna continue the show after. We're gonna talk a little bit of NBA, a little bit of MLB. But so if you want to stick around for that, you're more than welcome to. But if you have to go, we understand.
Well, let's see how much time you guys got for your show.
30 minutes? 30 minutes? 30 minutes?
30 minutes, 30, maybe 45.
I'll see. Let me stick around for the NBA talks because I'm curious about that one.
Okay. Wow.
We gotta do the hot take first. We do the hot take.
All right. So Trey, this part of the show is we call this the hot take episode. It's self-explanatory. So basically, every single episode, one of us goes and produces a hot take. It could be a hot take about anything regarding the sports. It could be a hot take about hockey. We talk about basketball. It could be a hot take anything, and then we all we all bond it. Do we like the hot take? Do we not like the hot take? And
Adam, I have an idea.
Basically it. What?
I have an idea. Since Marcellus hasn't go, how about Trey can go for Marcellus and we get added for the record for Marcellus?
No, because Marcellus has too much to catch up on his plans at this point.
Bro.
It's up to you. If you want, you can do it. But if you want to let us do it and just watch the chaos unfold, you can do it.
Here's a hot take. Here's a hot take that I did my data journalism project on.
Go ahead.
I actually aced it. Steph Curry is overhyped and overrated.
Okay. Now, you know what, Trey?
We got a hot take, boys. Let's go for Marcellus' hot take.
Okay. No. This is a hot take. I'm curious because I'm a giant Steph Curry fan.
So am I.
I got it.
So let's see. Let me hear your reasons.
But at that same time, Trey, I'll listen. Go ahead. I'm interested.
Steph Curry. Let me first say this. Steph Curry is a great player, but I don't think he'll ever be on the Mount Rushmore for greatest players to ever play. I don't think he'll ever be with LeBron, Michael Jordan, or Kobe in that case. He's not going to be on the Mount Rushmore. In fact, I don't even think he's the greatest point guard to ever play. Yes, he's a great three-point shooter, and I always say he's a great regular season performer. But look what happens during the course of the playoffs, especially during the 2016 finals and the 2015 finals. There's a reason why Steph Curry has 4 rings, but only 1 finals MVP. Is because his game, especially in these big games and even these Christmas Day games, which counts as a big game in my eyes, Steph Curry always takes a step backwards. And yes, when you look at the numbers, you're like, well, the numbers are better or they look the same. Well, the thing is, he's taking way more shots to try to make them. He's doing the Russell Westbrook, as in he has to shoot more in order to make some kind of thing. So my thing is just Steph Curry, great regular season performer, and I say he's anywhere from 5 to 10, but I don't think he'll ever make the Mount Rushmore. I think he's overhyped, and yes, he's a great three-point shooter. I will give him credit in that sort of aspect, but in terms of being all that or what people say, people need to look like he is severely in my eyes, overhyped. And another example I'll use, the 2019 finals against the Raptors. KD goes down with an injury. Clay goes down with an injury. Had Steph Curry performed how he would do during the course of the regular season, then the Warriors would have three-peat. But like I said, there's a reason why Steph Curry has 4 rings, but only 1 finals MVP. And 2015, as a LeBron fan, I remember Matthew Dellavedova gave him the work, slowed him down.
He did. I remember that.
2016 finals, blew a 3-1 lead.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So let me ask you this. So when you say Steph Curry is like overrated, I say he'll never be like in the LeBron category, which I agree with. Like I don't think he's top 5 all time. I'm a huge fan of it. So let me ask you that: when you say he's overrated, right? Where would you rank him all time? Where would you rank him all time?
That's a good question. Anywhere from 8 to 10, quite honestly. But like the thing is, like when people say my theory of overrated is just like, okay, he's not that high up. He's a little lower than that. That's when I think of overrated. When people say when people like lose their minds when I say Steph Curry's overrated, I'm just like, hear me out for a second. Because like Steph Curry's not the greatest point guard to ever play. That's Magic Johnson in my eyes. Because
Thank you.
He's the all-around point guard. Magic Johnson can score, he can pass, he can rebound, and Steph Curry is just like it's shooting. And look what happens. Like I just think like once again he's a great player, but not
also a ball hog. You also said a ball hog.
Okay, ball hog. I don't know about
Wait, did I say
ball hog?
Yeah,
I said ball hog.
No, Mike, he's not a ball hog. Stop it.
His assist rate is not good for a point guard. That's the only reason.
Well, that's mostly because passing isn't really his strength.
He's not a pass.
Nah, but as a point guard, you could still average 5 or 6 assists, and that his assist rate is like 4 assists per game usually. But this Trey, is this end of your hot take, or you want us to vote on it? It's up to you. Or you want to keep going?
You said like you have from 8 to 10. Like I'm a huge Steph Curry fan. I have him ranked 10th all time. Okay. So that's the one thing.
I say he's 10B.
10B.
10B. Okay.
Who's 10A?
So
he's not in the club yet. He's like borderline. He's about to knock somebody out.
Mike, he's in the club. He's top 10.
No, he's not. Number 10. He's about to knock out Bill Russell.
Like
Bill Russell's
he may not
knocked out.
be, like Trey. Is it like you can end the hot take like whenever? So and then we can vote. And then we can give our thoughts and we can vote on it. So
this goes to Marcellus' record, by the way.
Okay, vote on the hot take. Vote on the hot take.
I'll go last.
Do you mind if I say my thoughts first, if you don't mind?
Yeah. You're
all right, go ahead. Sam, you go, then I'll go. And just for the record, just to catch Marcellus up, every single one of our votes like will count towards like his record. So like for example, like Sam, if you vote yes, like his record's now 1-0. If someone else votes no, it'll then go to 1-1, like that. Okay. Give his record a boost. All right, Sam, go ahead.
Sam, don't be a biased Curry fan. Be realistic.
A biased Curry, bro. Shut up.
Bet you a Curry dick rider.
I'm not a Curry dick rider, really not. If you're going to hear me the fuck out first, so I think you using the term overrated might not be the best term, just because I never ever had Curry anywhere above the top 10. Like I have him number 10. And then that's it. Like some people may put him 9, some people may put him 8. For me, he's 10, and he can't go any higher until he wins another chip.
Let me put it this way: even if he wins another chip, is he going to win Finals MVP, or is someone else going to step up their game and Steph Curry's going to be given the work?
I think he would get Finals MVP. Honestly, he's grown into that type of player where he can perform in the playoffs.
But here's the thing, though, Sam. Here's why I disagree with you on that.
Can I
no, let me say in bias bullshit, because in 2015 he won the MVP, right? But who won it in 2015? Iguodala.
Iguodala, yeah.
That's when Curry
and
had one of his best
and
seasons, and he
Iguodala
didn't do
shouldn't.
shit.
Yeah, and I'm letting you know,
What's your point?
Iguodala shouldn't have won Finals MVP. Everyone even
Over
said
Curry?
Steph Curry.
But Steph Curry, here's the thing: he didn't elevate his game. He still put up good numbers, but not like what we saw in the regular season. And the talk of the town was Matthew Dellavedova,
shutting him down.
Yeah, this undrafted, unathletic backup point guard because Kyrie was hurt. Basically slow down Curry for a few possessions that gave the Cavaliers a chance.
Well, then you would also have to say that about Klay Thompson, because Klay Thompson, you look at his numbers in the finals. I'm sorry, they are awful.
But Klay Thompson is not a top 75 player. That's not my opinion. That's not my opinion. That is a top 75 player of all time. He's not there's levels to this. There's levels to this.
Still, so Sam, agree to this.
Bro, can I fucking finish my point? Like, damn, I'm trying to evaluate. I'm trying to get my thoughts, and you keep fucking interrupting me, Mike. Like, shit.
Nigga, hurry up! You got all day.
Damn. All right, go cry, Mike. Anyway, so back to my point that I'm trying to make. I think. Okay, so the term overrate, I don't think is a good term to use, just because I don't think anyone's going to have him above number 7. For me personally, if you have Steph Curry above like top 7, you're just blasphemous and you don't know basketball, because that means you're saying that he is number 6 all time. I can name 9 players all time that are better. However, I do agree with your points. Your points were very valid. They were very good. My one thing is he does perform in the playoffs and he does well in the playoffs. It's just he doesn't elevate his game. More so, he stays the same player, which honestly is better than most star players. As we see, for example, like Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid he just drops off tremendously from regular season to playoffs. But it was an interesting hot take. It kept me engaged. So yeah, I'll agree. Just I wouldn't use the term overrate. More so, like overhyped. That was probably the right term. Like some people overhype him, but not overrate. But okay. Yeah, I'll approve.
Thank you, Sam. I love you, brother.
About time. All right, you want me to go here?
Yeah. Go
ahead. All right, so
I bet you $5 I'm going to disapprove. I guarantee it.
I'm Trey. Sorry, I'm voting no for one reason and for one reason only. Is like you're saying Steph Curry's like, and it's for the same reasons like that Sam just mentioned. You're saying he's like overrated, overhyped. That you said that you would rank him like anywhere from 8 to 10 like players of all time. And I maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're hearing different things, Trey. But for the most part, that's why I think the consensus is worse than Curry ranks all time. Like
you'd be surprised how many people I've met. You'd be very like you get fools like Stephen A. Smith who say like if the Warriors beat the Lakers in the playoffs this year, then Steph Curry might have to take away might have to surpass LeBron in that.
It's like nah,
and I'm just like you are missing Max Kellerman way too much that you have to make ridiculous hot takes.
Oh god damn! Don't do Stephen A. Don't do Stephen A. dirty like that.
Oh, he did himself dirty with that hairline, like George Jefferson.
Stephen A. Let's be honest, Stephen A. is really doing himself dirty a lot. At
least he's better than Paul Pierce. At least he's better than Paul Pierce's hot takes.
Yeah, let's be honest. A lot of like talking as ESPN's hot
Trey,
takes.
I love you for that comment, dude. That was fucking Stephen A. doing himself dirty with his hairline, dude. That was.
Adam, can we put him as one of our co-hosts, Adam? Can we keep him?
Nah, he has
we'd love to have him, but I'm sure.
I got my own show.
He's busy enough already. Yeah, he's
Trey, can we come on your show for an episode? Can you invite us to be on your show?
If you study hockey, if you study the Devils, you got yourself a deal.
Hey, I
But-
thought
but-
as
but
brothers
yeah,
we can come together.
Mine is strictly hockey and devils. I don't know. I can't like just do a random like I can't do
exactly,
a random
exactly.
I
All
can't
right,
go.
how about I make you a deal? I'll go on your show, but I'll listen and I'll just respond to the words. You know what I'm saying?
Again, study hockey so you actually know what you're talking about. Kind of thing. I don't want you to look bad, kind of thing. I don't want to make you look bad.
Hey, Micah, you know what Trey saying to you right now? Get good scrub.
Trey, just remember, I have the power for your hot take. Just remember, Eddie as hell.
All right, but yeah, that's the only reason I'm going to Trey say you're like saying like that these over and over high that the consensus is that I feel like the consensus. I mean, obviously you're gonna have like you got people like Mike who says like all this he says like, oh, Kobe's like the second greatest player of all time and
I know
stuff.
you ain't talking. Didn't you say that LeBron was better? Kareem was better than LeBron?
I did. I walked that back, didn't I?
And you said that Kevin Durant was a top 5 player. So
I did not.
Yes, you did. On this bloody show, you said that Kevin Durant is the best player in the league.
No,
you said it on this show.
All right, best player in the league, like maybe a couple of years ago. Yeah, maybe
No,
I said that, but not all time.
Trey, you know what this buffoon said? He said that Scottie Pippen is not better than Kevin Durant. No, he said that D Wade is not better than Kevin Durant. That's what Adam said.
You said D Wade is not better than.
I said I would take Kevin Durant over D Wade.
That's a stretch. That's wrong.
No, but the thing is like
it's at least debatable. It's at least debatable.
Honestly, Adam, I don't think that's much of a debate. I think you have to take KD over Dwayne Wade. Quite honestly,
exactly.
Kevin Durant is 7 feet. He can shoot the ball. He can play defense. No disrespect to the Flash. No disrespect to the Flash. Dwayne Wade is great, and I love Dwayne. And obviously, as a LeBron fan, I know how much D Wade means to the Miami Heat and that organization in general. But I'm gonna have to go with Kevin Durant in this case because
D Wade stock, KD stock.
Well, you're up, so I can't really see how much your camera's pointing up. So
KD,
it's like
KD right here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say why though. Here's why I say
that's why
D Wade had a better career than D Wade.
I really feel like most people, at least like there's people who like you said, like aside from like a lot of talking heads out there, I think for the most part, among NBA fans, I really feel like everyone has Steph Curry. I feel like is he in the LeBron MJ like tier? No, but is he like in like the tier below that? I think he is. Like he's like at the very, very minimum top 15, if not top 10 player of all time. So yeah, that's the only reason.
Here's the thing. Here's why I say, Alex, your turn to vote.
Alex, your turn.
I approve.
Before Mike goes, by the way, Adam, I just want to remind you of one more blasphemous hot take you did. Remember when you said Kareem was the best Laker of all time?
Oh yes, he said that on the show. He said this on the show.
I forgot that he played a lot of years of the Bucks. I'm sorry.
And you also said, what else did you say that was blasphemous? That Sam, remember the most blasphemous thing he ever said, that Kobe Bryant, if Curry gets another championship, he will be better than Kobe.
I said that if he got another championship.
Rest in peace to the Mamba. He's turning in his grave right now.
He heard Adam say that. Adam. I wanted to smack him for saying that. Now it's my turn.
Go ahead.
Trey, I agree with you 100% on every point you made. Honestly, for me, the greatest basketball point guard is number 32, a Hall of Famer, Irvin Magic Johnson. Let's be real. Even if Curry wins another championship, Magic Johnson is the greatest point guard to ever play the game. He changed the game. He changed the game of basketball from being a 6 foot. Let's be real. In the olden days, there was no such thing as a 6'9" point guard. It had to come into the 80s. And Magic was the first player to play point guard, forward, and center in the same game and still dominate in the same game. And it's never been done before. He basically paved the way for guards like LeBron, Grant Hill, Pippen, all the big guards. He made big guards a reality. That's
well,
one
as
of
a
my
LeBron
reasons.
fan, he's not. I know LeBron's a great passer, but I don't know if LeBron considers himself a guard. But I get what you're saying.
Like as a big person to be a point forward or point guard or whatever.
And
and point two. Curry is kind of overhyped in my opinion as well. Because I believe only thing you got to Curry's game is his offense. He has no defense. No defense.
I wouldn't say no defense, but it's like defense isn't his strong suit.
His defense isn't a strong suit, and he's a
pretty much
liability defense.
Yeah,
it's
pretty
league
much
it's league average. It's league average. His defense.
But here's the thing about Curry. In those finals years, those 2 years he was the MVP, when he won back-to-back MVP awards. The year that they should have, that he could have, like, he didn't elevate his game in the finals. You had Matthews+.
Yeah, he had that finals that year. Yeah.
Can I talk at him? Shut.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now, Matthew Dellavedova, who was a backup point guard from Australia, gave Curry the business on defense.
Yep.
And then like what happened? Iguodala, who saved that series for them.
Yep, because pretty much that's when the Warriors decided to go small ball. They took David Lee out the lineup, put Draymond Green in, and Iguodala really knew how to mesh it together. But yes.
And here's the third reason why I agree. Because Curry, don't get me wrong, he's a great player. I probably think him as 10A, 10B, or 10A. Depends on my mood. Curry, here's the thing. I love Stephen Curry. I think he's probably the greatest. If Magic Johnson's here, I say he's the third best point guard in my opinion. You still got Isaiah Thomas.
Okay, I don't know about Isaiah.
Okay, buddy.
Isaiah Thomas. Don't let Michael Jordan fool you. Don't let Michael Jordan fool you. Isaiah Thomas was a headache.
Bad man.
He
was a bad
man.
Don't let Michael Jordan's ego.
Don't let
Isaiah Thomas
I'm not
is
even
a bad
boy
man,
fan.
but he's not close to Steph Curry. I'm sorry.
Here's the thing. I think because I think Isaiah Thomas was a dog. You guys look at his highlights and then you're gonna thank me.
I've looked at Isaiah Thomas's highlights. I'm letting you know Steph Curry is still a lot better than Isaiah. But don't get me wrong, Isaiah Thomas is a dog. He is an amazing player.
He's him. He was
but
the point guard.
Isaiah Thomas, he's not even top 15. Steph Curry's number 10. Isaiah Thomas isn't even top 15. So you're really gonna say that he's close?
They're top. They're Isaiah. In my opinion, I say Isaiah Thomas is a better point guard than Curry. If you look up the point guard row, if you look up the point guard,
you're gonna say he's a better point guard than Steph Curry. But do you have Steph Curry ranked higher all time? Because what you're saying, because here's the thing, what you're saying right now, Mike, is that you have Isaiah Thomas in your top 10. Do you have Isaiah Thomas in your top 10?
They're not in the top 10. But here,
okay, then. So then Steph Curry is ranked better.
Yo, can I fucking talk? Like, God fucking damn. I'm saying, like, Curry is a better player, but as a point guard position, Isaiah Thomas is a better point guard, but an overall player, I say Curry's an overall better player than Thomas. You play the point guard, Sam, you know that. As a point guard, Curry's not a traditional point guard. That's the only reason why I say
which is why he's a better player in general.
I say at the position, Thomas is better, but as an overall player, Curry's better. That's what I'm trying to say.
That doesn't make any sense though, because
makes positive sense. The fuck you say that like
because okay. So then imagine this. Imagine saying Magic Johnson is number 5 all time. Kobe Bryant's number 7 all time, but I have Kobe as the best Laker of all time. How the fuck that makes sense if Magic played as a Laker his entire career too?
I'm saying as a point guard position, there's a difference between being a point guard and being a great player. Thompson is a better point guard. But overall, people say Michael Jordan, the greatest player of all time. But people say LeBron James is the best all-around player. And people say it a million times, which I think is crazy, but I can understand where they're coming from. But can I get to my points where I agree on the hot take, Mr. Smartass? Or I got to put my foot in your ass? Which one do you want me to do? Because I'm getting
Mike, all I'm saying is this. You can't say, oh, well, this person's playing point guard. But he's an overall better player, so I'm going to rank him number.
I tell you, motherfuckers, this he's a 2 guard at best.
Is he a point guard? Yes or no? What position does he play?
He's not a point guard, bro. He's, like I said, more of a
What position does he play?
He's not a real point guard.
What position does he play?
Point guard, but he's not a real point guard. Let's just be fucking real.
He plays point guard, but he's not a real point guard. So we're going to rank him lower because of that. That makes
I say
zero
Tom is a
fucking
better
sense.
point guard at his position than Curry. That's all I fucking said.
Yeah.
Keep it pushing, or I'm stabbing, or else I'm beating the shit out of both of y'all. Can I get to my points? I let y'all say y'all points. Let me say my fucking points. Can I get back to my point? Or I smack the shit out of both y'all niggas?
Sure. Try. Go ahead.
You know, Sam, I will fuck you up, and I will definitely fuck you up because I know both of y'all live. And I'll tell these viewers where y'all live, and I'll scare the shit out of you. So let me get to my point. Thank you.
Trey, just saying that, just like remember when I said this is a fun podcast, this is a fun actually this is what I meant.
Because I literally threaten Adam on a daily basis. No big deal. But here's also
he's just looking at himself like, what did I get myself into?
And
he's just like, I should have left when I had the chance. I should have left when I had the chance.
Trey's gonna be like, Adam will be like, hey, want to join another episode? Trey will be like, nah,
all right, but Michael, you're approving or disapproving?
I'm approving because he made better
thank
sense.
you. All right.
Curry's
so
overrated.
Guess what? Your hot takes approved. Congratulations, Trey.
Wait, Adam, since I feel bad for Trey. He was like, I was having a good day. I thought it was gonna be an easy podcast to do. I should have left when I had the chance.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
So what's on the basketball, guys? Let's go to basketball. Let me say something. Jimmy Butler is him. That's all I gotta say.
We've already known that.
Jimmy Butler
Both
is him.
teams are up 3-0.
Guys, I'm gonna say it. This Heat Nuggets, if both team wins, this Heat Nuggets is gonna be a crazy matchup, bro.
It's gonna be a crazy matchup on NBA TV.
Yes.
Because let's face it, this is not going to be the most marketable NBA final. Let's just be real here, because Jokic is not marketable, and the Miami Heat are an 8th seed team.
Yeah,
it's going to probably be the most boringest finals ever.
It's not going to be.
I didn't say boring. I just said it's not marketable. Not marketable.
It's not going. It's like, for example, like Lakers Celtics would have been way more marketable.
Guys, let me say
something. Because not only do you have LeBron, but you have like.
I mean, look at the previous look at the previous playoff matchup between the Warriors and the Lakers. That shattered the previous record.
Yeah,
that was the most
like Lakers, Celtics. Like that. Not only do you have LeBron, but it's arguably like the best rivalry in NBA history.
Right. Now if you have like Giannis or LeBron in the finals or something like that, I don't know, but yeah, or the 76ers, whatever case might be, but. Jimmy Butler is going to be entertaining, but my thing is, like, how much further can he push it? Can he push it past supposedly going to be the Denver Nuggets team? Because, look, somebody has to come back from a 3-0 deficit. The Lakers got to be thinking to themselves, why not us?
Exactly.
I'm a Laker and Knicks fan. I think the Lakers aren't worried. Because here's the thing. Denver has to win literally one game. And LeBron has been like, yo, I've been down 3-1. And like LeBron's like you know how LeBron loves taking on challenges. If he does this with the career with the year he had in basketball this year, and he does the unthinkable, boys.
I mean,
it's a big if, but Michael, here's where what the Lakers have going for them. My thing is try to get it to 7. Here's how they do it. You got home court advantage. You got the next game at crypto.com arena.
Yeah.
And the next game, then the game after that will be in Denver at Ball Arena, I believe it's named. Yeah, Ball Arena.
Yeah.
And then you go back to crypto, and then you win at Ball. Here's the thing. I'm not worried. Here's the thing. Darvin Ham, guys, who's been a good coach this season, surprisingly. I thought he was going to be a nightmare coach. But let's give him some credit. And then the Lakers did those great trades. They got rid of Westbrook, which I thought was good. You got D'Angelo Russell. I don't know where he's been in this playoffs. He's sucking.
Yeah.
And now
my guy.
You got Dennis Schroeder, who is a walking bucket. And let's put some respect on Austin Reeves, okay?
Yeah,
Austin Reeves, that white boy can play, boys.
Yeah, he can play.
Guys, you better give him like a good deal next year. I'll give him the money. But here's what I'm gonna say: Jokic and Murray, that duo is deadly. You guys saw what he did in Game 1 and Game 2 and Game 3. That boy could play. Guys, I was saying this: Murray should have been an All-Star this year. It pissed me off that he wasn't an All-Star.
And Western Conference is just pretty stacked with guards.
He should be an All-Star. I'm saying if Murray goes to the East, he'll be starting the All-Star game 100%.
Yeah.
And Sam could agree on that.
Yeah, I mean, Sam, sorry.
Yeah, I can agree on that. Yeah.
But here's the thing. I'm gonna say this to you, Trey, because me and you and Sam are probably the basketball experts on this show. What do you think about Joel Embiid having the worst MVP playoff season of all time?
I think the thing is, and this might be a little bit of a hot take, I think you had to give Joel Embiid the MVP kind of thing. Not to diminish his season, but I just don't think people were comfortable giving Nikola Jokic 3 MVPs in a row. Yeah. Then we're talking about the last player to do that was Michael Jordan, when people like LeBron James didn't do that. Giannis Antetokounmpo didn't do it. Let's see, Kevin Durant didn't do it. Steph Curry didn't do it. So it's just like, I think people, my hot take again once is that I think Nikola Jokic should have been the MVP, but people were hesitant because if you give him 3 MVPs in a row, then you're gonna have to say Nikola Jokic is the first MVP winner since Michael Jordan to win 3 MVPs in a row.
Yeah.
No player won 3. Michael Jordan didn't win it 3 times in a row. He won in 88, 91, 92, 96, and 98.
He didn't win it 3 in a row?
No player has won it. I'm literally looking at MJ's highlights.
Really?
Yeah.
I got Jordan won it 3 in a row.
Yeah, there's got to be someone. Isn't there someone who's won it 3 in a row?
I'm about to look it up right now.
Yeah.
Larry Bird was the last player to win. It said it was Bird, apparently. Hold up. I'm about to look at it right now. I'm about to look at
Yeah, Larry Bird. Larry Bird is the most recent to win.
Bill Russell won it 3 years in a row.
Okay.
Bill Russell. Bill Russell and Larry Bird were the 2 players to win it back to back to back.
Okay. Well, it still proves my point because Bill Russell, pioneer in the NBA world, and may he rest in peace. Larry Bird, trailblazer as well, basically made the 3-pointer very popular. Nikola Jokic, he's not marketable, and no disrespect to him, but he is very boring. Like his game is really good, but why don't people talk about it? It's because he's not marketable. There's a reason why he is like a 2-time.
Oh yeah, my bad. Hold up, guys. Hold up. And also Wilt won it 3 years in a row. Wilt too.
Okay, Wilt Chamberlain. Okay, that another trailblazer and pioneer in the NBA world. But as I was saying, Nikola Jokic, there's a reason why this guy is a 2-time MVP winner, yet he does not have his own signature shoe because he's not marketable. He doesn't have his own signature line. You don't really see him in commercials. And yes, he might give you a funny soundbite here and there, but you know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of Kawhi Leonard because Kawhi Leonard is a very great player, but he's not marketable because Kawhi Leonard, he'll give you a funny soundbite here and there and people will talk about it, but that does not equal marketability because Kawhi Leonard is quiet. He's off the court lately. But I'm going
to give you a better comparison here for Nikola Jokic. I would say Tim Duncan.
Tim Duncan's not marketable. He's not marketable because his personality is too dry. It's like and it's a problem. Like it's what people don't realize. It's like Tim Duncan. He had a deal with Adidas. I don't think he had his own signature shoe, if I recall, or even if he did, it probably didn't do too well.
I'm saying, guys, hold up, Trey. Let me. If you heard what Jokic said to the twin boys, Morris brothers. That beef was entertaining. Let's just be real.
It was entertaining, but he's still not marketable because I still don't know Nikola Jokic's personality other than it's like, yes, good, dry, good, and then funny soundbite here and there. Good, great, yeah, played a great game. It's like it's like so dry. It's like give me something. Like
give me a pound, give me an air pound, brother. I respect it, brother. Let me say something. I say that Kobe Bryant was robbed of an MVP over Steve Nash twice, and Adam still doesn't believe that He still believes that Nash should have won the MVP over Kobe in 05 and 06, which I say it was a disgrace how Nash won back-to-back MVPs and Kobe only got one. And I'm pissed about it because the NBA, Kobe had a better season. Nash didn't do shit that year. Besides,
I mean, if you want to say like Kobe should have won those MVPs for Nash, okay, that's debatable, but don't act like Nash was a scrub. He won back-to-back MVPs for a reason.
He benefit because the rules changed back in the early 2000s.
Okay,
you couldn't hand check. You couldn't hand check no more. You couldn't play aggressive.
Kobe played under the exact same rules.
No, he barely. In the 90s, you would have got killed. Let's just be real. Adam, an elbow to a face back in the day, you kept playing. Now it's like a flagrant foul. A clothesline.
Which I actually make the argument that the defense nowadays is better than it was in the 90s, because if you couldn't stop someone in the 90s, you would just shove them. But now in today's era, you can't even touch a player without getting fouled. So that requires skill.
I say the 90s era was more better to watch because and here's the thing. It was more competitive now because back in the day, you didn't call up your friend, be hey, let's team up in the NBA. Like, now you'd be like, let's go
the
team up. The
90s was more like physical, but today
and competitive and more competitive.
I don't even know about competitive, but 90s was
here's why.
Today's NBA is like in terms of defense, it's a lot more skill based. It's a lot more like based on strategy. Like for example, like you have like zones like zone defense nowadays that weren't allowed, back in the day.
Here's the thing. It was more competitive with the players. There was like no other players loved each other. It was like if you were on that team, you stayed with that team. You didn't call anybody. You played through the draft. Now it's like, yo, man, let's go team up over here. Yo, let's go team up over here. Back then, y'all know, once you stayed on that team, the only way you left that team is if you were traded. That's the only way that you had a super team. You built through the draft or you were traded. It's not like you go in the free agency and say, yo, go get this guy. Blah, blah, blah. Now, I give my great example, LeBron in 2010 season when he went to the Heat. Him and D-Wade couldn't do it on their own because the Boston Celtics, you know what they did? Boom, same thing with the Celtics. You have Garnett and Pierce and Ray Allen couldn't win on their own. We're going to make a super team. Okay. And Sam could agree on that.
I mean, I think LeBron had no choice but to leave in the first place because you're saying he can't win on his own. Well, he literally led a 2007 Cleveland Cavaliers team to an NBA Finals that had no business of being there.
Their second best player was
Zydrunas Ilgauskas.
Who was an all-star that year? And you had Larry Hughes.
Mo Williams.
What? Adam, shut up.
I don't think Mo Williams was on the. Was he on the team?
He's not even the team yet, stupid. This is
okay. Here, I can name some of the players. Wrong team. Okay, you had Drew Gooden. You had
Larry Hughes.
Daniel Booby Gibson.
Larry Hughes. You had Hughes. You had Sasha Planicic, whatever his name was. David Wesley. You had Eric Snow.
Sasha Petrovic.
You had Eric Snow. You had Danielle Marshall, who was okay. Here's what I say. If you make the NBA, you're a good player. Let's just be real. Because you made it to the highest. You're in the NBA for a reason. And exactly. Sam has said this, and I disagree with him on many points about this. But I'm going to say this. If you make the league, you got to be good.
Yeah, because the worst player in the NBA can show up to your YMCA and play and be your Michael Jordan.
Exactly.
Brian
exactly.
Guys, let me say this.
No, I know the story. He went to a kid, called him out, and was like, I could beat you. Brian Scalabrine embarrassed him. And basically he ended that matchup by saying, I'm closer to LeBron than you are to me.
Exactly. Which is true.
Even the worst, because think about this, the worst NBA player still has to practice with the best of the best.
Exactly.
And still sometimes have to defend the best of the best.
Exactly.
So the competition they face is way different than the competition you face.
And here's the thing: even the worst NBA players, they are for the most part the best players on their college teams and the best players from their high schools. Right. So think of all the competition that they had to that they had to be out to get this.
Hey Trey, I
It's like,
played against some NBA
for
players
example,
all my life. Can I
Kwame
talk, Adam? Let
Brown.
me
Wait. I got to hear this. I got to hear this.
For example, it's like Kwame Brown.
Me or
Everyone looks
Trey?
at him like, yeah, on the NBA level, like he's like a scrub. But if Kwame Brown faces Michael here one-on-one, Kwame Brown would probably beat him 21-0.
Probably, Michael. You said you've played against some NBA players.
I played against them in high school and college. Go to some pro runs sometimes. I played with Kyrie. I played with Austin Rivers many a times, and I'm dead serious when it comes to it. How am I when it comes to basketball? Like Austin Rivers was giving, I was giving him buckets. He gave me buckets or whatever. I used to play against really good competition. I played overseas, yada yada yada. But here's the thing: what I say, Austin Rivers, who is let's just be real, he's a journeyman in the NBA. But I say his best years are behind him. When he went to Winter Park when he was in high school, five-star recruit out of high school, went to Duke, had a great career, great 1 year. Goes to New Orleans Hornets, averages from 25 in college to 5 points a game his rookie year, 7 points. Goes to the Clippers with his dad to coach him. He does all right. He earns his strap. But here's what I've been telling this. I played against Kyrie. I played against him my whole entire life. I know how he plays. And I also played against Kyle Slomo. I played against Kyle Slomo Anderson. I played against him in high school. And I was telling people back then, he's a bad man in the league. He's a bad dude. He could play. Only man that ever gave me buckets in my life was Kyle Anderson in the game. That was it. But I'm going to say this, Adam. I'm going to say this, Trey and Adam.
What?
You put me in the starting five for any team, I'm averaging at least 5 assists, and I'll score at least 5 points.
In the NBA?
The NBA?
I'll give myself 5 assists because I'm a
my
pass.
God.
No.
Oh my God. No.
I'll give myself 5 assists because
You can't get 5 assists. No, you cannot.
Okay. It's not just about like kicking off to like a corner, and you got to set up you got to make sure that player is set up.
Exactly.
You got to make sure your pass is fast enough because
give me 5 fast breaks. I'm getting 5 assists easily.
5 fast breaks. Are you going to be the one leading the fast break, or are you going to be the one trailing?
I will be leading it.
All right. Just so you know, Trey, if Michael ever says he's going to be the NBA game, he said, "Oh, I'll get 5 assists." Bet the under.
I will, because he won't come off the bench. With all due respect, you're not coming off the bench. You're not coming off the bench. In fact, you're not even going to dress. You're going to be in a suit. You're going to be in a suit on the bench.
It would be garbage time minutes I'll get.
I'm sorry, Michael. Trey just ended your entire existence.
Because look, if you pass the ball, people are going to be like pinpointing your every move. So if it's even a tad bit slow, they're going to intercept that easily.
Yo, guys, I like Trey. Yo, Adam. You put 2 black guys on the show together. What do you think is going to happen? Hey, Adam, Trey is like me, isn't he? Outspoken, don't give a fuck. Is he like? He's the hockey version of me.
I guess you could say that.
But here's the thing: he's still a nigga at heart. He's still a nigga. You want to ride? He can still talk about the
basketball. Just saying, like. Interests don't make a race. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
I'm just saying interests don't make a race.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, don't fall into those stereotypes. Just
exactly.
Let me put it this way. If a white person listens to rap and watches like hockey or whatever the case might be, no one's gonna care. But yet when I do it, there's a problem. Just remember
exactly. It's like
Adam,
don't put yourself in a box. Don't put yourself in a box.
Hey, let me ask you a question, Adam.
Yeah.
Name your top 5 NBA players. I want to hear it.
All time or right now?
Both. Give me both.
Right now, I'll say Jokic is number 1 right now.
Debatable.
After that, it gets tough. All right. I'll say.
If you say KD number 2, I'm leaving this call.
I'm not gonna. It's not gonna story. I'm not gonna say Katie. I'll throw Giannis. Number 2.
Okay. Who's 3?
Thinking about it. That's just tough. I'll throw KD 3. Why not? I'll throw KD 3. What?
Bias.
How am I biased?
You're a KD fan. Everybody knows that. The fuck? Go
Not
ahead.
anymore. He left my team a while ago.
Which one?
Bullshit, but okay.
OKC, Warriors, or Nets?
I'm a Nets fan.
He's a Nets fan.
Yeah. Fortunately and unfortunately.
I'm so sorry. It seems like you're always close, but then
it's like, which by the way, can I roast KD and Kyrie right now? How it's like you're seeing the like the Celtics are down 3-0 right now, and you see the Miami make a series run. You're telling me that KD and Kyrie they could have at least made a run at this thing. You're telling me they could have made a run, and then they just decided to quit. I mean, both those guys, like, they don't look good right now, in my opinion. Especially all, Kyrie.
Here's why that didn't work. You have Ben Simmons on your team.
I know Ben Simmons was god-awful.
Ben Simmons is a liability. Ben Simmons is probably the worst all-star player in the league, in my opinion. And the worst player to become an all-star was Ben Simmons. I don't care. I'm going to say this. This is going to be my hot take. Ben Simmons going to be in China next year. He's going to play in China. Right. Let's just be real.
At the fish, I'll say Tatum 4 and I'll say LeBron 5. And I'll probably put Steph at 6.
All right, who's the greatest players of all time?
All time, MJ 1, LeBron 2, Kareem 3, Magic 4. 5 is tough. I'll say Wilt.
Trey, who's your top 5 greatest players of all time?
Okay. LeBron, MJ, Kobe. Let's see. So LeBron, MJ, Kobe, Magic, Shaq.
You have Kareem out your top 5?
I have him 6 because no one stopped. Because I have him 6 or 7 or somewhere in that ball. No one's stopping. Like Kareem played against like like mailmen. Okay. Whereas for Shaq, no one's stopping that. Most
dominant NBA center of all time.
Yeah, no one's stopping him.
Okay,
no one could stop him.
Sam, he was the most dominant big man in NBA history.
So Will Chamberlain, we're just
going to Magic on his Magic and Laker days, and even his Miami Heat days with Dwayne Wade. No one's stopping him.
This guy was averaging 26 and 12 without free throws. You gotta be that good to average and have a bad free throw rate. And you can dunk without jumping.
No 3-pointers either. No 3-pointers either.
And Will Chamberlain is literally the most
He was playing
athlete.
against half firemen. I want to hear your bullshit. Shut up.
He was playing against half firemen.
This was his competition. This was Will Chamberlain's competition. This was his competition. That's his competition.
Hey. Okay, bet. Well, since you both are, kind of smart, who's taller in today's NBA? 1960s or today's NBA?
But Shaq was still dominating his dudes his height. Will was playing short little white people that couldn't guard him. What's your point, my nigga?
No, Mike. I want you to answer the fucking question. Whose NBA centers are taller today?
NBA centers
today are taller?
Yes.
No, actually. Centers in the 1960s are a full inch taller at 6'11", while the average height for a center in today's NBA is 6'10". In fact, in the 1990s, the tallest center was actually 6'11.3". So centers back then were actually only 0.3 inches smaller than the centers that played in the 1960s. On top
Here's
of
the thing,
that,
if I have
Mike, you're letting me fucking finish now. No, Mike, now you're letting me fucking finish. On top of that, Wilt Chamberlain had to verse a team that consisted of not 1, not 2, but 5 to 8 Hall of Famers at a time. And on top of that, all the centers that played back in that age were actually considered the best centers, and they weren't.
There was only one, and Bill Russell. Whoop-de-doo. You want a cookie?
So Bob Pettit doesn't count. He was 6'10", by the way. Bob Pettit, he doesn't count. Dolph Chase, who was 7'2", he don't count. Let's see. Who else can I name? Who else can I name? He played against Kareem. Kareem was 7'3", so he was actually taller than Wilt, and Wilt blocked his ass at an older age. So we can also put that. Dave Cowens, he was around 7 feet tall, so he
Dave
was only
Cowens
one
was
inch
not.
short.
Shut
Dave
up.
Dave Cowens won an MVP. Are you kidding me?
He wasn't
Well,
7
okay,
foot. He was
okay,
6'10". No, you're fucking height.
okay. 6'10".
You have a heart attack.
Still 6'10" to 7'1". That's not really that big of a height difference. And on top of that, what about Willis Reed? Willis Reed, he was a big boy, wasn't he?
6'9".
He guarded Wilt.
So I'm gonna say this. So it's Sam, if you were building a team to start your center, you tell me you would take Wilt over Shaq?
Every day.
Bullshit. Okay,
Every
what's
day.
your top five, Sam? What's your top five? Because I am 5 seconds away to dropping the foot leg and killing you and make it look like a suicide for this
Okay.
blasphemy.
I can literally go all day and tell you how Will Chamberlain's better than Shaq. You can look up numbers. He is better than Shaq. That's all I'm gonna say. Number 1 is Michael Jordan. Number 2 is LeBron James. Number 3 is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. To me, those three are they're you can't change them. Michael Jordan's consensus the number 1 best player.
Trey, you're gonna be here for hours. He
Consensus.
just naming points.
All right.
Just get to your 5. I didn't ask
All
for
right,
stories.
get to your
Get to your
5,
five.
then we got to start wrapping up the show.
I'm gonna
here.
go,
Starting
and
to
then
get
Alex
late.
is gonna go. I'm gonna go, and then Alex is gonna go.
Okay, so 1 Jordan, 2 LeBron, 3 Kareem, 4 again. This is controversial. I don't care. He's literally the most dominant athlete, just in general.
Nigga, get to.
Well, not the
we
most
get-
dominant athlete, but you know what I mean. Most athletic athlete, whatever. Wilt Chamberlain, and then number 5. Sorry, my number 5 is Magic Johnson.
All right, I'm gonna go now. Michael Jordan 1, Kobe 2, Bron 3, Magic 4, Bird 5. Because they go on my mood. Kobe and LeBron switch my mood.
Okay. You know what?
Yeah.
I won't even argue that.
All right.
But I think
Alex,
after the
who's your top
2016
5?
finals, I think LeBron surpassed Kobe. After that 2016 finals, LeBron surpassed.
Hey, Alex, who's your top 5?
Michael Jordan, LeBron, Kobe, Wilt Chamberlain, and Scottie Pippen.
Hey, Trey. You said Scottie Pippen, Alex?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh God,
Alex, please tell me you're pranking us about Scottie Pippen.
If it was AI, I would be like,
he said
okay,
prank.
you're
He said a
Sixer
prank. It was
fan.
a
That
prank.
at least makes sense.
Alex, it
But
was a prank.
Scottie Pippen?
Alex,
Say, guys, I don't think we have time to debate that. I don't think we have.
All right, guys. All right, Trey. We're gonna wrap up the show here with our bets. We're gonna wrap the show here with our bets. So basically, Trey, this is our sports gambling segment. We all make bets, and yeah, and basically that's it. We keep score, and it's a really fun time. So, so we recently do this thing. It's called the game of the episode. We all pick one game, and we all pick who's gonna win. So Trey, we'll let you have the honors here. You can pick one game. It could be any game. It could be a hockey game, basketball game, baseball game, whatever.
Lakers and Nuggets. Take the Lakers because even if the Lakers don't come back and win the series, I don't think LeBron wants to get swept.
All right.
He's going to do everything in his power to make sure that does not happen, especially since they're playing at Crypto.com Arena. So I take the Lakers to win Game 4.
All right. So just taking Lakers Nuggets Game 4.
Correct.
Okay. So all right, I'm gonna take the Lakers in that one. I agree with you.
Adam, don't you take a bet on my Lakers, Adam, because every time you pick my team, they lose. No.
No such thing as luck, just timely or untimely coincidences.
All right. Alex, who are you gonna take? Are you gonna take Nuggets or Lakers?
Is this the game of the week?
Yeah, this is the game of the week. Yeah.
Who won? You didn't win your bet.
No, Trey picked. I let Trey pick.
Oh, my bad. Alex, you go first before me.
I'm gonna go with Denver.
Okay, so the Joker's going to sweep.
Okay, yeah. So,
Adam,
all right.
Adam, you already know where I'm going.
Oh yeah, for the game of the episode.
You already
right?
know who I'm going with.
Yeah.
We had a rocky start in this series. We had a rocky start. What's that song? What's that song by Big Sean called? Where's his hit that where I'm going with? Last I took the L, but tonight we bounce.
We bounce back, but in this case, is last night I took 3 L's, and tonight I'm gonna bounce back.
Last time I took 3 L's, but tonight we're gonna bounce back. I wake up.
You know what? 3 L's. I'm just like, you know what? I'm down bad. That's really down bad.
We Dreamville. We down bad right now. We coming back today, motherfucker. We coming back. With Lakers, we're coming back. And LeBron will make history as the first player to make a team from a 3-0 deficit to go win in 7 games. Let's go. Let's go. In the words of the security guard that I knew at TC&J, Alex, let's go, champ. Let's go, champ. Let's go, champ.
Okay.
Lakers, we're winning. Jokic, you're in our house now, bitch.
Okay, so let's get this because we know Trey, and we all want to get to bed now. So we're gonna make our bets here. So Trey, you're familiar with how sports gambling works, right?
Yes, my. Here's the thing. Just disclaimer: my show is sponsored by FanDuel, so I can't really. So just putting that out there.
Okay, so you can't really do it. So you can't really do
my
any
show.
bets.
For obvious reasons, FanDuel's I got to go with FanDuel kind of thing.
Okay, that makes sense.
And that's what we use anyway. That's what we use. This is for fun. This is not money. This is just for fun.
We're not actually. We just we don't actually place money. We just do stuff for fun.
Okay. Because I was like, I can't promote another betting site kind of thing.
Okay,
no, this is just bullshit. We just do on our own. This is for fun.
Okay. That's fine.
Okay, okay. So for my bet, I'm gonna take the Yankees over the Orioles money line, and I'm gonna do a parlay.
With Volpe?
Not with Volpe. I'm with for our guest Trey here. I'm gonna do a hockey one. Game 3, Stars going ice. I think Stars take it, and they avoid going down 3-0. They're back home. I just can't see the Stars going down 3-0.
Yeah, I think the Stars are. I agree with you in that case. I think it's just the age of not getting swept, right? Just the age of not getting swept. So I'm gonna go with Stars.
All right, so that all right. Just so you know, this is our separate. You don't necessarily have to take that one, Trey.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
But no, I agree with you.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Okay, gotcha. All right. Okay, so Sam guys, he's taking Nuggets on my line. Trey, did you want to go here? And this will count for our host who couldn't make it. Did you want to place a bet?
Let's see. Place a bet.
Let's see. You're not placing money, so you can't get into any trouble.
Okay, yeah. I'm not placing any money. I'm going to take. So I don't know what the over is for. I could do anything, right?
Anything, yeah.
Any sport, as long as it's not
as long as it's not like too far. It's like, for example, you can't say, "Oh, I'm going to take Golden Knights to win the cup." As long as it's like a game within like the coming days.
Okay, a game thing. Okay, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this about LeBron James because there's going to be a pinnacle moment of the series for the Lakers. I'd say LeBron is. I don't know what the over under is, but whatever it is, whatever points it is, if it's 25-30, I don't care. You take the over because LeBron is going to go Super Saiyan and he is going to lead the Lakers to at least one victory in this series.
Yeah, I agree. So LeBron James over whatever the point total is?
Over whatever the point total is because he's going to get his 3-point act together and he is going to try to lead the Lakers to at least one victory.
That's a great point. That's a great bet. I really like that one.
All right. Just one. That's all I want. Just one.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And we'll count that for Marcellus. So we appreciate it. So Alex, quickly get your bet in.
Okay, I'm gonna do Braves money line over the Dodgers. I'm gonna do
Who you picking?
Braves money line over the Dodgers.
Right. I think you said Braves. Braves money line over the Dodgers, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Braves. The Atlanta Braves over the LA Dodgers.
And Tampa Bay Rays money line over Toronto.
Okay, Rays over Blue Jays. All right, Michael, you last up. Go ahead.
What is Big Papa going to do? What is Big Papa going to do today? What bet is Big Papa going to do? All right, Adam. You know what bet I'm going to do? Even though I hate Pat Riley, this bet is Hey, Alex. How many bets we've been doing, Alex? I mean, you've been doing sports bets for how long, sweetheart? So I can send you my Kurt to my Leo, to my Lee Corso. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You're my Kurt to my Lee. Alex. How many bets have we did, sweetheart? How many bets have we did?
A lot.
So This is strictly business, not personal. Even though I hate Pat Riley as a coach and a person, I'm gonna go with the Heat money line. But Alex, every time I pick the Lakers on this show, I am 1-4. You know what I'm saying? I am 1-4 this season when I pick the Lakers. This and 1-4. Actually, I'm 2-5. My bad. I'm 2-5. But here's what I'm gonna do, Adam. You know what I'm gonna do, Adam?
What?
We're going. Adam, if I didn't pick this team to win tonight, I won't be able to sleep in my bed. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
The Laker gods are going to come together at the Crypto Arena in Los Angeles Monday night. Lakers money line, because I'm just going to be for real. LeBron's, like Trey said, LeBron's going to go off. He's scoring over 50. He's scoring 50 tonight. He's scoring 50. Scoring 50. AD is going to have a great game. D'Angelo Russell's going to step up. Austin Reeves has been stepping up. I got my pick. Lakers money line.
Perfect.
Put your L's up. Put your L's up. Put your L's up. Put your L's up.
All right. All right, guys. It's all for us. It's all for this episode. Trey, we thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It's been a blast. Like, talk about the Devil Series with you, talk about your experience covering your team, and also all this fun stuff you're talking about. So, dude, like you killed it tonight. It's a pleasure having you on.
Thanks, Rap. Thank you guys so much. It was a lot of fun, and thanks for having me on.
It's been a blast. One last thing here before we let you go. Tell us where all listeners can find you.
So you can find my show at Locked On Devils on YouTube, wherever you get your podcast from. You can also follow me on my personal Twitter page at TreyMatt4, TreyMatt and the number 4, or the show's Twitter page at Locked On Devils.
That's perfect. So yeah, Trey, we thank you for coming on, and you're welcome back anytime. Do not be a stranger.
Thank you so much, guys.
Right. Guys, any final thoughts?
Go Lakers tonight.
All right. Obviously, let's go Devils, and let's go Yankees. That's all I'm gonna say here. All right. But guys, that's it. So 162 of the Game Officially, Grassani, Cunningham, Alex, Trey, Sam Morell, and special guest Trey Matthews. Thank you here. Leave a like and follow and subscribe to the podcast. Also enjoy our content to the content YouTube. Reach out on social media. When you feature episode, feature episode of Marathons. Those strategies just fancy. Imagine a world, believe it, and dive it. See you next time, and until then, stay lit.
And we're out.